Hey guys, Samuel7 here, and here we are at round 5 already of HRL Season 4. It's actually kind of crazy that we're this far through the season so far. This is basically a third of the way through the season. I mean, this is not counting the All-Star race and the semifinals, but again, just in terms of numbers, we're hitting a third of a way through the season, which is pretty exciting. We do have our keys to the race. One of them is choose lines wisely. The other one was to hit your triples correctly. So to explain those two, there's a lot of fast lines in this track, and you really want to make sure you're in those fast lines, otherwise you're going to be really slow. And then hitting the triples correctly. The triples can be a little tricky sometimes, and they can actually cheese people, so you want to make sure you're hitting them correctly. And then the whoops are actually more important than I think people value them at this track, so I think hitting the whoops, being consistent, being fast through the whoops is actually very important here. You can actually gain a ton of time through the whoops if you know how to hit them right. So I think it's one of the more important portions of this track. And I also showed the point standings after Barvo. Didn't put it at the end of the last video, so I thought I'd put it in the beginning of this one. So there's that. Hopefully you were looking for your name in there if you're one of the racers. As we go through the gate order for this first heat, has a lot of fast people in it. Should be a pretty fun heat here at Minneapolis. This is also a little bit updated than the way you saw it last season, by the way. If you remember that race, there are a few changes on this track, and you'll probably notice them. Notably, in the first rhythm is way different, but there's also a lot of other changes. But anyways, here we go, waiting for the gate to drop. A couple seconds here, and here we go, green flag. Who's going to get the whole shot? Looks like it's going to be pretty close, and Luke gets the whole shot, and Talking King or Vulcan was on the inside. It's hard to tell because their Spartans look exactly the same. I'll be able to know in a little bit which one's which as they go through the I still call that a triple, even though it's really a double now. It's either a single triple or a double, and I still call it a triple sometimes just because of the fact that it used to be one, and it's still a really frickin' huge jump. So I'm just so used to calling it that because of how big it is. So sorry about that. Whoa! One dry. I cannot tell yet if that's Vulcan or Talking King, but they went down hard right there. I believe it was Vulcan. As we finish the first lap, Luke's going to be in your lead, Camby's going to be in second, and then Fireball third, and then we have Vulcan hunting them down right there. There he goes on the inside. Looks like he's going to overtake Fireball, actually, for third at the moment. Vulcan's been a little bit, I mean, we saw it at Carpinteria. Vulcan's been much improved on Supercross this season. He used to hate Supercross. But so far this season, he's been putting in some of his best work on Supercross, actually. He's been way worse at GP and at Ovals, but for some reason, Supercross, he's been performing pretty consistently well. So definitely look out for him on this track, even though he cheesed himself a bit there, and now he's back into fourth. Still, I think he's one to look out for since he seems to have improved his Supercross game quite a bit this season. He looks way stronger. He looks way more comfortable on Supercross, and he just looks like he knows what he's doing right now. Before, it looked like he didn't really know what he was doing. He didn't know how to string lines together. But now it looks like he's really got an understanding for it, and he's really starting to come into his own. And that's just Vulcan in general. I mean, if he was considered, Camby goes down. He goes down to fourth, actually. That's going to put Vulcan in that semi-transfer spot, and Fireball in second, trying to hunt down Luke. So shuffling up the positions a lot in this heat. So we have to see now if Camby can actually fight his way back to get Vulcan, which is going to be tough because, like I was saying before, Vulcan it's very unlikely that he'll make a really hard mistake here to let Camby get by him, because Vulcan's actually been pretty consistent at Supercross and just putting in fast laps. And like I was going to say before, if he could be considered a rookie this season, I'd honestly put him up for that Rookie of the Year contention, because he's been so much improved. Still trying to hunt down a podium, though. I don't think he has a podium yet, although he's come very close. He's come very close, and he probably will continue to come very close. But I think that's he said he was in the beginning of the season. He said he was shooting for a win. I think it's more logical for him to just shoot for a podium first and then work from there. But who knows? I mean, if he gets a good hole shot at one of these SX tracks, I wouldn't be surprised if Vulcan could pull off a victory at one of these tracks. Although I would definitely say settle it down, look for the podium first. Definitely not a bad pickup, though. He's on the Monster Energy Cup Racing team with Slaunch and Cat, which is a pretty good pickup for Slaunch, actually, now. I mean, a lot of people were thinking he'd be the weak link on that team, but Cat's been not showing up, and Vulcan's been consistent in his attendance, and that's going to help out that team's points a lot, especially with the fact that you got Slunch on it as well, who's always one of the top contenders with points. And then if Cat can make the frickin' races, then that you got a solid 3-man squad there. As we go into the double or triple, depending on how you like to take it. Looks like Fireball actually tried to take the single triple, but he failed it. He singled way too hard. He did not roll slow enough, and that slowed him down quite a bit. As we're getting through this race, I think we're coming close to 2 to go. Actually, we have to. I mean, this race has been going on for quite a while, so we got to be getting close to that 2 or 3 to go marker at this point. As we go through, whoa! Fireball went down there, and Talking King's going down. I think Vulcan's actually like right behind Fireball now. So we could see a little bit more position shuffling, potentially, before this race is over. Yep, there's Vulcan right there, trying to make a move on the inside. Fireball's fighting back, fighting him up high, trying to take away that line. And Vulcan's definitely not going to give up that easy. Let's see what Vulcan decides to do here. He actually cuts the berm way low. Is he going to land that? Lands it perfectly. Wow. Oh man, Fireball was so loose right there, and he affected Vulcan really hard, and that gave Vulcan a really slow run through the whoops, and now Vulcan's way behind him, and that sucks because Vulcan he honestly had like a passing line there on Fireball with how well he cut the berm to the point where he landed the triple just perfect, and that was honestly impressive out of Vulcan right there. He literally hit that as perfect as he possibly could have, and you could see the speed he gained off it. He gained a ton of time on Fireball. He honestly should have passed him right there. So you go through. It looks like Camby's fallen off quite a bit. Don't know if we'll see a battle for that semi-transfer position in this heat because Camby's fallen off so much. Don't think he can catch up at this point, but oh well. We still do have a potential second place battle between Vulcan and Fireball, and it looks like Vulcan's gaining. He's honestly putting down some heaters in the heat right now. Looking very quick. And Fireball is just not very good at that back section. Let's see if Vulcan can make a run here. He's going to go for the risky line. Can he do it? Does it again. Unbelievable. Vulcan's hitting all the risky lines, and he is hitting them smoothly. It's honestly impressive. Oh, no. Not sure what happened there as we go to the white flag, but Vulcan goes down in the rhythm. That sucks because he was making gains on Fireball. He was taking risks. He was hitting them too. That was honestly really impressive of a run to watch out of Vulcan, but unfortunately, you know, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to compete for that position now. Really sucks for him because he was honestly impressing me a lot in this heat here. Looks like we have a new best British driver at Supercross. Oh, get roasted, Hunter. Oh. As we come to the last couple sections, it looks like Luke should be able to hold on to this heat win. Unless Talking King can bring in some cheese. No, he's slow. He's slow in the recovery. Never mind. Alright, here we go to the finish. And Luke's going to take the heat win. And second place is going to be Fireball. And then we got Vulcan not that far behind in third. And then, of course, in fourth and fifth, as you can tell by the gaps, you're going to have Camby and Talking King. So pretty fun Heat 1 right there. But Heat 2 is really stacked. We have 3 of the Supercross specialists, Launch, Ump, and Flash. And then you got Detail up there in the points as well. So this should be a really fun heat to watch. As we're off to the green flag, Launch with the hole shot. Amazing start out of him. That was really fast. Oh, that's going to get tight between Rebel and Ump right there. Yeah, Rebel gets hit with the Halo lag bubble cheese as expected. Detail trying to fight. Oh, Detail, that could be a big move. Is he going to get the run? No, doesn't get it, but Ump actually gets the run. He's going by Slaunch. Detail's trying to go by as well. We have a 3 wide through the whoop. Slaunch, oh, he saves it. That was so close. 2 wide, double 2 wides, down the rollers. Who's going to get it here? Rebel looks like he's trying to make a move, but does not have the speed. Slaunch is right there in third. Ump still fighting hard, taking the risky line for the lead. Is he going to land it? Yes, he does. That is clutch. And now, oh, Detail, that's unfortunate. Does not hit the berm. but has to hit the outside rhythm. Yup, he's going to have to settle for 4th after that. That's a huge mistake out of Detail right there, trying to fit in to the outside on that inside rhythm, but was not able to get the line. Oh, man, flips on the inside bump after finish, too. That sucks for Detail. Probably not going to see him come back in this race after all that. She's trying to do a little bit of a cut line, but gets really loose. Oh, man, Slaunch, I don't know why he didn't roll it right there. Almost a Goomba stomp out of Rebel as he goes by him. I'm not really sure why Slaunch tried to still run that triple that close to ump. I mean, you got to expect lag cheese right there, but he went for it. Probably should have went for the single there. And then I don't know if he would have been able to pass ump if he did that, but I think it would have been a cleaner run. He probably would have been able to hold on to 2nd place. And Rebel getting a little bit loose right there, but he actually has a pretty nice little, like, almost like it drifts into that rut. Pretty good line right there. But again, Slaunch is one of the forgers of this track, so you got to expect that he's going to be pretty fast. So he's definitely going to fight for this position pretty hard on Rebel. Ump getting really, really loose on that inside line, but able to hold on to it. Slaunch running the inside, Rebel running the outside. Which one of these lines is going to be faster? Here we see how they even out. Rebel's, but back to the crossover is Slaunch, and Rebel gets the run out of the whoops though. Oh, really exciting battle between these two. Rebel goes down into the entrance of the rollers. That absolutely sucks. That happens sometimes if you're like turning just ever so slightly. That'll happen. And now we have Detail possibly in a battle now with Rebel. Really exciting heat right here. Oh, Rebel getting a little loose. Aw, Detail, that sucks. Yeah, he's not going to be able to battle with Rebel now. That is unfortunate mistake out of Detail. Now he's probably just going to settle in, try to hold on to that 4th place, and just accept the fact that he's going to have to stay out of that semi. Because I'd be really surprised if Rebel made enough mistakes at this point to let Detail catch up and take that semi position. I mean, Rebel's got to understand now, like, yeah, he can really try some risky lines, try to put in some heaters, see if he could get 2nd place, but like he's probably not going to get the win, so it's probably worth it for Rebel to just try to run the consistent lines, try to stay safe, and try to hold on to that 3rd place, try to get into that semi, and then maybe in the semi you can try some of those risky lines, try to get that first gate pick. If you're Slaunch, though, we all know how he runs. He's probably going to be trying to put in some risky lines right here. He's probably going to do whatever he has to do to try to catch up to ump in first and try to make a run for that heat win, because that's the way Slaunch likes to run. Oh, Detail actually caught up to Rebel a little bit. Maybe Rebel is trying to do some safe lines or something, because Detail caught up quite a bit right there. Or maybe he made a mistake. I'm not necessarily sure. Didn't really see it. As we see, ump still has a pretty solid lead. Looks like he has, yeah, about the whoop section gap of a lead. Probably going to be a little bit more than that now that Slaunch made a little bit of a mistake entering into the whoops, and it looks like Rebel has also opened up his gap a little bit on Detail. This heat is starting to stretch out a little bit after being really exciting in the starting last. Hunter is actually, I haven't mentioned him at all. Hunter's in last right now. Just trying to get some practice in, trying to get this track under his belt. As we all know, Hunter in the past has struggled a little bit with Supercross, so he's probably just trying to, get his bearings and trying to figure out how to run this track. Maybe look at some other lines, see what other people are doing, since he hasn't been the best at Supercross in the past. Hunter has been a really solid oval guy, though, and that's, we saw him get the overall and a moto win last week at Barvo, and I think the ovals have to be Hunter's. They have to be his solid tracks this season. Like, he has to fall back on ovals. He has to make sure that he gets another moto win, maybe another overall at an oval upcoming throughout the season. Because if Hunter can't do that, then he might have a pretty rough points finish. But if he can fall back on those ovals and keep doing so well at them, he might be able to carry his points just off of the fact that he does so well there. Although he does make every race too, so he probably won't be able to do the semis, which doesn't affect him too much because semis are a Supercross and a GP, so not that bad for him. Now Detail's actually caught. Oh, Rebel with a little mistake. He actually saves it. I think he was still faster than Detail, unbelievably. It's kind of crazy the fact that cut across the split line is so fast that Rebel makes a mistake taking that line, but is still faster than Detail. It's just unbelievable that's the way that line is, and that's how much speed there is there. Detail's definitely trying, though. He's trying everything he can to try to get up there to Rebel. Possibly a faster line through the whoops there. I don't know if Detail is going to be able to catch him by the end as we hit the white flag at this moment. There you see taking the white flag. Yeah, I don't know if Detail will be able to catch Rebel, but he's showing that he's not that far off the pace. That's for sure. The fastest two drivers in this heat, though, are definitely and Slaunch, just like the best two drivers in the last heat were definitely Luke and Fireball. So these other drivers have a little bit of catching up to do in terms of speed, or maybe they just got to gun it for that hole shot, try to get that good start, and make up for it that way. Which sometimes it works out in Supercross. Sometimes if you can pull in a lessee and just get amazing starts, sometimes you can avoid a lot of cheese and not be the fastest driver on a track and still just be able to run away with the race because you get a good start. And other times it doesn't work. Other times you just get smoked even with the start. So it really depends. Alright, there we go. Takes the win. Solid heat win for him, looking really fast at this track. And a big gap too, as we see Slaunch now coming across the line. We gotta wait a little bit before we see Rebel and Detail. And there they are. There's Rebel. Looks like Detail possibly made a little bit more of a mistake. Yeah, he probably did, because he lost that gap quite a bit. But there you go. There's your finishing order. Hunter was 5th, and here we go to the semi gate order. It looks very similar to the the heat orders. It looks like the drivers tried to stick with their positions and almost had like a gentleman's agreement to stay in like their same spots. It's kind of interesting how that worked out. Here we go. Now we're gonna wait for the gate to drop. Alright, should be dropping here soon. And there we go. Looks like is probably going to get the whole shot. Yeah, definitely going to in the semi. Things are going to bottleneck there in the inside line and the outside too. Vulcan and Luke both making mistakes in the back. Having a solid run up front. And Fireball going ham, trying to get that run, but he goes a little loose and Rebel lands on him. This is already chaotic. So you have Rebel, Fireball, Slaunch, Vulcan and Luke battling in the back, and is away with that lead with that nice start with the whole shot. Slaunch trying to make moves to the inside. Looks like he might be able to overtake all of them. It looks like he's going to take second place here. As long as he can land that risky line, and he does. And Vulcan's going down. Rebel's going down. Rebel's in last now. Vulcan's in 4th. Fireball has fallen back to 3rd. Oh, mistake out of Luke there hurts Rebel as well. That's unfortunate for those two. So you have Slaunch in 2nd place, but already has a huge gap from that hole shot. It's going to be hard for Slaunch to catch up. Very similar situation here to the heat. Whoa, Fireball is getting really loose. And now here comes Vulcan. Is he going to Goomba him? No, not enough. Almost. I kind of thought it was going to happen, but definitely not. I wonder if Vulcan's going to have enough speed to get Fireball here, because that was a battle that we saw in the heat that lasted quite a while. Again, Vulcan looking pretty solid through that section. He takes the risky line into the triple, and he lands it. That line is gaining him so much time on Fireball, and Slaunch has gone down. Slaunch has gone down. Unbelievable. Now he's in 3rd, and Vulcan's trying to overtake him. There he goes! His teammate trying to make gains on him. It's a fun battle to watch between those two as they take alternate lines in the split. Which one's going to work out? Completely alternate lines. Fireball cheeses himself. Absolutely. Oh, no. Vulcan. His line into the triple did not work that time. He lost a lot of ground off that. And Fireball is going to continue battling with him. Is he going to get that inside line? It looks like he's going to peek in. I don't know if it's going to work, though. Vulcan's got a bit of a run off that berm. Rebel's overtaken 5th. And it looks like Vulcan's going to hold on to that spot for now. And if he can land that line yet again, that's going to help him a ton. Yes, he does. That Fireball is losing so much time every lap off of the fact that Vulcan can hit that line consistently. Oh, no. Fireball, again, another mistake. Those lines are definitely hurting them. And you see stretched his lead out with Slaunch making that mistake. Slaunch, before the mistake, it was probably possible that he could make up the ground and catch up. Now I'm not really thinking it's possible. I mean, these semi races are pretty short. Oh, Fireball trying to mess up Vulcan, I guess. And I guess it works. I mean, he's right there now. As long as he doesn't cheese the whoop section, and he kind of does. Kind of loses a lot of ground off it. Vulcan with a little bit of lag cheese coming out too. I mean, that's got to be scary for Firebolt. There it is. Vulcan, I don't know if that was his lag. I don't know if he actually made a mistake. I'm guessing it was probably his lag. But that's really unfortunate as we hit the white flag lap here at Minneapolis. In the semi, again, for gate pick, very important where you finish in the semi. If you want to have that gate pick that you prefer. Not sure if Rebel's going to make any gains now, but I think Fireball is probably the person to watch on this lap. The only person that can make a position advancement is probably him on Vulcan, so we're going to have to watch that. And is he going to be able to do it? It looks like he's running alternate lines. Then Vulcan, he's right there. Fireball right on Vulcan. Is he going to be able to make a move? He Tomax through the whoops. That was the key to the race. He's getting that fast line. Oh! Fireball, way too aggressive. Tried to make kind of a dumb move, and then Rebel punishes him too. He's like, yeah, that was stupid. And he just runs him over, drives on by him. Fireball's going to lose from 3rd now to 5th. That's huge in gate pick as Ump takes your semi-victory. Yeah, I mean, I gotta commend Fireball for the balls on that to try to make that move work, but that was kind of stupid, to be honest. Like, if you would have just stayed on the inside of Vulcan and tried to make that move, perhaps on the triple coming up, I think he probably could have overtaken the position. That was probably the right place to make the move. But right now, I think that's Fireball's biggest weakness as a driver is he doesn't wait for the right moments to make the moves. But anyways, great semi. Hope I see you guys for the moto races. See you there.